Greetings to each and every one. I'm Nature Israel, and welcome back to Nola Narrative by NBN, Nola by Nature. And in this episode, we have something special for y'all because we're actually standing at a special place in New Orleans. Some people may know it as Monkey Hill. Some people may know it as a trail in City Park. You know, we do the research, we bring the proper information to the people, and we're actually standing on a mound here in New Orleans at City Park, which is one of the historical parks in America, which houses the oldest oak trees in America. Now what we're doing is talking about the name, preface, and origins of New Orleans by going into Bulbancha. A lot of people may have heard of Bulbancha or may not have heard of Bulbancha, but according to modern information that's online, people are under, I'ma say, the erroneous assumption that New Orleans is named after Bulbancha, or the city of New Orleans was once called Bulbancha by Choctaw, Chittimaw, or local Indian tribes. But upon further investigation and fact searching and finding, come to find out, through a great map maker and archaeologist in 1811 by the name of Thomas Lafon, not the son Thomas Lafon, who the school uptown in the Magnolia Project is named after, but his father. His father was a map maker and archaeologist for Louisiana and especially New Orleans. He was also a pirate on the side. With his research and his map making and talking to the local Indians in this area, he found out that there was mounds in Catahoula, Louisiana, and upon more investigation, he found out through the local Indians that they said that below the point of the city, which they call New Orleans, there was an ancient hidden city that was called Bulbancha. Now, with his investigation and research, they never actually really found Bulbancha, and by 1812 came, the war had started, so he had to stop his research into finding hieroglyphic mounds and six sacred places here in Louisiana. And with that information, through Thomas Lafon and Dunbar and all those early map makers for Louisiana, they have determined, which I have agreed with, that New Orleans is not named Bulbancha, or not named after Bulbancha. Bulbancha is a city that lays south of New Orleans, near Pont-la-Hache, or some even say closer to St. Bernard Parish, and that was what was called Bulbancha. Now, with that being said, Pont-la-Hache, St. Bernard Parish, places that lie south of New Orleans, 6 months ago, was maybe like March maybe, or whatever, a local archaeologist and researcher who's been investigating Chandelier Lake for the past 30 years have found granite structures and stones underwater. He done sonar and all type of investigation and found that it stands over 280 feet. And through his investigation, he determined that it's an ancient pyramid structure that stands over 280 feet in Chandelier Lake, or Chandelier Islands, meaning there was once land there since it's called Chandelier Islands. So we're saying, and he's saying, that the city that's under the water there is actually maybe over 12,000 years old. And that's what I'm calling Bulbancha, and that's what we're calling Bulbancha. Also, according to local Indians, once again, natives, indigenous, whatever you want to call them, Moors, whatever. Watching PBS about 20 years ago, I saw that the Choctaw say that this area was also called the City of the Ancients. And with it being called the City of the Ancients, that and Bulbancha, there's no other local indigenous terms for this city or for this area outside of those two terms, the City of the Ancients and Bulbancha. This is a Nola Narrative by NBN, Nola by Nature. I'm Nature Israel, and we out.